Hi everyone, welcome to episode of Root Culture. So in today's episode, we're going to take a look at plant profile, Platycerium, Bifurcatum. So let's begin. So let's take a look at this Bifurcatum. And bifur means forked. So for the Bifurcatum wise, you can see that they produce many forks on their fertile fronds. And there are different cultivars of the Bifurcatum. And it's one of the plant that you can really find in quite a number of places. And people who are new to the hobby want to try something more hardy, this is a plant that we would recommend. So a little more into Bifurcatum is that they like to produce parts, as you can see here. So the conditions that we grow them in are quite broad. For example, take an example that we grow them in a high intensity light location with direct sun, and we also grow them in a slightly shaded area. So for those that have a slightly high intensity, you get this lighter color, a lighter green color, and for those in a darker intensity, you get slightly darker green. A little more into the Bifurcatum watering habits is that they do well in both slightly drier or slightly wet conditions. But we always prefer for friends to let them slightly dry out first and then do your watering. In most cases, the Bifurcatum are a plant that is quite resilient to pests. You don't really see much mealybugs, or even you don't really see much scales or even mites on them. They are not susceptible to moth like the radii, and in most cases they do actually look really good as a showpiece by itself. So we're going to show you one that has a longer fork, and so let's take a look at that. So this is a Bifurcatum with slightly more elongated forks. So the Bifurcatum is one of the plants that you can really find in most nurseries. Even in local nursery or even overseas, you always see that these are quite commonly found. So Bifurcatum itself, the care guide is simple. A good flow, a good amount of water. Sunlight wise, it can take a little bit less, a little bit more, but we always recommend a little bit of sunlight or a bit of lighting. And then also fertilizing wise, we do a fert occasionally. So it's a plant that is really forgiving, and if you have the conditions for it, or if you like to try out ferns, we would recommend just giving it a go. There you can start your staghorn journey. So do let us know in the comment section below whether Bifurcatum is your first staghorn fern that you catch. We would love to hear about it.